What is up, guys? I am the Gaming Gorilla. It is a pleasure to have your company once again. Black Ops 4 has been out for about a week now, and lots of reviewers are starting to pop up all across YouTube. And I'm not trying to flame any reviewers out there, but it's quite clear that some of them haven't really played Call of Duty before, or they've only played it on a casual level. And as a long-time Call of Duty player, watching these reviews can be pretty frustrating when the reviewer gets facts wrong about the game. So what I wanted to do today was do my own review of Black Ops 4, and as a long-time COD player, let you know what the game is like and whether it's worth a pickup. Before we get into the review, if you're planning on sticking around, make sure to click that subscribe button down below and smack that bell icon as well to get notified every time I make a new video. Alright, so the first thing to note about Black Ops 4 when you load up the game is there's no campaign this year. Now, this is a bit of a controversial topic because lots of people love the Call of Duty single-player stories, and a lot of people will undoubtedly be upset that there isn't a new one in Black Ops 4. But, with that said, personally, I don't know anyone that's ever said, wow, I can't wait for the new COD this year to really get stuck into the campaign. So, for me, the fact that there's no campaign this year isn't really a turn-off at all. There's sort of a single-player story with the Specialist HQ mode, which essentially gives you a backstory of each specialist in the game, but to be honest, all it is cutscenes with multiplayer matches against AI in between each cutscene. It's basically a tutorial mode, and as someone who already knows what they're doing in Call of Duty, it's pretty tough to sit through. So it's not really worth it if you're a returning player, but regardless, the fact of the matter is, most of your time is going to be spent in the other modes of the game anyway. And talking of those other modes, let's move over to Black Ops 4's installment of Zombies. Zombies is a little different in Black Ops 4. While for the past few Black Ops games, the original maps haven't included the original Zombies cast, that being Richtofen, Dempsey, Takeo and Nikolai, Black Ops 4 is doing away with their story completely, and starting a brand new Zombies storyline, with the exception of the Mob of the Dead remake and the 5 remake, which I'll get into in a bit. But yes, Black Ops 4 has a completely new cast of characters with a brand new story to discover as you play through the maps. And as always with Zombies, there's heaps of puzzles to solve and lots of secrets to find. And the new map 9 is the perfect example of that. We've never really seen a map like 9 before. It drops you in the middle of a coliseum, and you choose which direction you want to take to try and stay alive. It's not as different as it was originally talked up to be pre-release, but nonetheless, the map is really fun, and there's a lot of things to do and a lot to explore. What's interesting about this map, and all the maps for that matter, is you can now select a class and a special weapon. There's 4 specialist weapons at launch that each provide a slightly different style of gameplay. As for me, I prefer the Scepter of Ra, which lets you revive teammates from a distance, as well as deal massive damage to zombies. The addition of classes really helps to make Zombies a bit more diverse, and it's just another reason to keep playing the game to try them all out. That moves us on to the next map, Voyage of Despair. This map's actually really cool. It puts you on board the sinking Titanic, and once again, there's lots of different mysteries to find and solve. This map isn't quite as big as 9, and it's slightly more claustrophobic, with tight corridors and even water to swim in for the first time in Zombies, which is something that I didn't expect, but surprisingly actually works pretty well, and is a pretty cool, unique feature of the map. With this map though, you definitely want to know what you're doing, or else it's gonna end up in you getting trapped in a hallway or underwater. The final 2 maps take place with the original cast of Zombies characters, that being Takeo, Richtofen, Dempsey and Nikolai. These 2 maps are remakes of Black Ops 1's 5, which takes place in the Pentagon, which has been renamed Classified, and a remake of Mob of the Dead from Black Ops 2, which is now called Blood of the Dead. My pick of the 2 is Blood of the Dead, which sets you in Alcatraz prison after the events of the Black Ops 2 map. Not only is this map a massive throwback and really enjoyable to actually discover again, but there's a lot of new things to do on this map. First of all, you'll start in a brand new area before you even get to the original map, but once you get there, it's not quite the same as before. I'll leave it at that.
This fucking guy again? Hey, take a hit, pal. We're working too hard.
Now, pre-release, Treyarch, the developers, have said that they're doing away with the original storyline of Zombies and starting a new one in Black Ops 4. So, in all likelihood, these two maps are the last time we'll actually see this cast of characters, or at least for a while. To be quite honest, there's not too many negatives to come up with zombies this year. My biggest disappointment is that the original perks that we've seen in the past few years, like Juggernog and Speedcaller, aren't here in this game. But with that said, there's a lot of new perks that are pretty cool too. Alright, let's move on. The next massive feature in Black Ops 4 is the new Battle Royale mode, Blackout. The inclusion of Battle Royale in Black Ops 4 copped a lot of hate when it was announced, including for myself, but after playing it, it's safe to say that Treyarch has shut me up. I honestly don't think anyone expected Blackout to be as much fun as it is. It takes some of the elements from PUBG and some from Fortnite, but at the end of the day, it's its own thing. And it's really fun. As with all Battle Royale games, 100 players drop into a massive map and try to be the last one standing. But what's different about Blackout is that this map is a combination of all of the best parts of the Black Ops series. You can drop into Nuketown Island, Firing Range, iconic parts of fan favourite maps like Rage, Stronghold, Cargo, Array, and even parts of zombie maps like Asylum, which is Blackout's remaster of the Varrock map from Black Ops 1, World at War, and Black Ops 3. It even brings back the Lighthouse from Call of the Dead. Just running through the map with friends brings back so many awesome memories from over the years with the Black Ops series, and it probably is best to do it with friends. Just running through makes it really nostalgic and overall just really enjoyable. And that's not even touching on the gameplay yet, which is pretty good. Better than I expected. I thought going into Blackout that in a typical Call of Duty way, time to kill would be much quicker than it should be in a Battle Royale game. But I'm happy to say that I was completely wrong. While time to kill is pretty fast up close, which is what you'd expect, there's still a lot of opportunities to have long range gunfights with another squad, and you're able to plan a strategy to take another team out. Going further into the gunplay, there's a massive variety of weapons with pretty much every weapon in the multiplayer featuring in Blackout. And on top of that, if you drop into parts of the map where zombies spawn, you can actually get zombies' weapons. Whether it's a Galil from Black Ops 1 or even the ray gun. Yes, the ray gun is in Blackout. While scavenging the map, you can pick up what is actually a really wide variety of attachments for your weapons, including lots of different variable zoom sights to help with long range gunfights. There's also a few different vehicles to play with throughout the map, with a truck, boat, ATV, and helicopter being the main ones. But just overall with Blackout, it's a massive thumbs up from me. It's a lot better and a lot more fun than I expected, and it's definitely in the conversation for the best Battle Royale we have at the moment. What's disappointing about this mode at the moment though, aside from the fact that it is a little bit buggy, which you kind of expect at launch, but my biggest disappointment with it is that while you can unlock some of the Black Ops 4 specialists by completing hidden challenges, overall there's just not much customization in the game. You can't really have that many skins, and there's not really many ways to diversify yourself from other players. In the future, we'll be able to get lots of different characters like Woods, Reznov, Menendez, and even the original Zombies cast, but at the moment they're not in the game. Treyarch literally teases us by putting them right in front of us, but we can't unlock them just yet. But I'm sure that we'll get those pretty soon. And finally, we have multiplayer. One of my main concerns with multiplayer was actually because of a rumour that had been going around over the past few months, and that was that initially Black Ops 4 was supposed to have a similar movement system to Black Ops 3, with exosuits and jetpacks. And people who had played the game early were saying that it felt like the game was made for jetpacks. But after having already reached First Prestige and putting a lot of time into multiplayer, it didn't feel like that at all. It definitely feels like a boots on the ground game, and that's something that's been missing from COD for a while. It just feels fun. I don't really know how to explain it, but COD is fun again. For the past few Call of Duties, I mean, yeah, they've been fun, but there's just been something about it, like World War II and Infinite Warfare, that just couldn't keep me invested in the game. Whatever that secret recipe is, Black Ops 4 has it. Also returning in Black Ops 4 is Specialists. Now, we've had the Specialist system in Call of Duty before, in both Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare, but this iteration of it takes it well above and beyond what it was before. What's different this year is that you get both the Specialist weapon and the Specialist ability, with the ability taking the spot that your grenade is normally in. What this does is it really diversifies the experience, because your playstyle is going to change a lot depending on which specialist you pick. For example, if you pick Firebreak, his abilities are based around being close to your enemies, so you'll be rushing more. The same can be said for a character like Ruin, whose Grapple Gun and Gravity Slam forces you to play more aggressive. If you pick a character like Seraph, for example, her Annihilator pistol is more medium ranged, and her Spawn Beacon allows for a more tactical approach. So it's definitely a cool new addition to be able to pick a specialist that suits your style of gameplay, and it really helps to keep the game interesting and different each time you play.
Hellstorm awaiting deployment.
Multi-front SPF 5000.
Enemies contesting Bravo.
Attack chopper standing by.
Down to their last lives. Take them out.
UAV standing by.
Another really big change in Black Ops 4's multiplayer is the transition to 5v5 instead of 6v6. And again, this actually works really well too. Revisited maps like Summit and Firing Range really thrive off this change because over the years, Call of Duty's gameplay, while we might not notice it, has actually really sped up a lot. So if you played 6v6 on these maps, it would probably feel a bit too hectic and there'd be too much going on. But the 5v5 on all maps for that matter feels just about right, and it's a surprisingly good change for the series. There's also a few new game modes in Black Ops 4, with Control being the most popular out of the new modes. Control's an attack and defend game mode similar to a mode like Demolition from a few years ago. In Control, defenders try to defend 2 capture points while the attackers try to, well, attack. Each team has 30 lives and it's the first of 3 rounds. For as long as I can remember, Domination has been my favourite game mode, but this year Control is definitely giving it a run for its money. With the new specialist and 5v5 systems, Control works really well and it's a great addition to the game. One of the biggest issues I have with Black Ops 4 at the moment though is the spawns. In Control and Domination in particular, it's way too easy to spawn trap the other team. And look, you'll end up on the good and bad ends of a spawn trap, sure. But regardless, it seems way too easy to spawn trap at the moment, and it's something that's gonna need to be fixed very soon, or the game might start to lose players. Another negative I have with multiplayer at the moment is the addition of body armor. Body armor is essentially the same as the Juggernaut perk in COD 4. And personally, I don't know anyone that was asking for that perk to come back. Nothing is more frustrating than working hard for a high score streak just to be buzzkilled in a 1v1 gunfight with someone that has more health than you. To sum up Black Ops 4 overall, the general consensus around the game is that it's a lot of fun. Personally, I haven't had this much fun in COD in ages, probably since Black Ops 2. Black Ops 4 brings Call of Duty closer to where it was in Black Ops 2 or 3, and with 4 awesome new zombies experiences, an unexpectedly great Battle Royale mode, and a somewhat troubled but overall really fun multiplayer, it's the refresher that the series definitely needed. So, out of 10, Black Ops 4 for me, I'll give it a 9. Thanks for watching guys, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to smack that subscribe button down below and give a thumbs up as well. And make sure to comment your thoughts on Black Ops 4 below, I'll make sure to reply to every comment. So that'll do it for today guys, thanks for watching and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.